So we take a look at the Oklahoma City Thunder so far this season. They've had one Western Conference matchup and two matchups in the Eastern Conference, beating the Denver Nuggets, beating the Chicago Bulls, and then their most recent victory came over the Atlanta Hawks. And I think so far this season, the Oklahoma City Thunder have looked extremely impressive, and I don't think it's way too early, but they're looking like the team to beat in the Western Conference. I think watching them with our eyes, I think they look like the best team. The things that they've been able to do so far this season, some of the spurts that they've gone on in games, they just look like a team that could be historically great. But we look at the Oklahoma City Thunder, and there's so many things that's so fascinating about this team right now. First of all, they're beating the hell out of teams. They won every game so far by double digits. First game of the season, they go to Mile High City to face Jokic and the Denver Nuggets, one of the most hostile environments to play in. First game of the season, you know the crowd was very excited. They go there, win that ball game 102 to 87, holding the Denver Nuggets under 100 points. And then the next game, they face the Chicago Bulls, where they win that game. I believe the score was like 114 to 95. So that's almost a 20-point victory. And then in their most recent victory against the Atlanta Hawks, they win that game 128 to 108. If I'm not mistaken. So their margin of victory right now is off the charts. And what's so impressive about the Oklahoma City Thunder right now is that they're beating the hell out of these teams, and they're not even in full offensive swing mode right now. Right now, we look at the NBA rankings. Right now, the Oklahoma City Thunder come in at just 22nd in the league in offensive rating, and we know they are so much better than 22nd in the league when it comes to offensive rating. Things just haven't started clicking yet. But what's so good right now about the Oklahoma City Thunder, they're playing defense at such an elite level, and they played defense at an elite level last year, but this year they're taking things to a whole new level. And also another thing that's been off the charts for the Oklahoma City Thunder so far this season is their ability to rebound the basketball. Right now they're fifth in the NBA in total rebounds per game, and a huge part of that is the improvement of Chet Holmgren. His individual improvement to rebounding the basketball has been outstanding. First game of the season against Jokic, I believe he had 16 rebounds. Second game against the Chicago Bulls, he had 16 rebounds, and in his most recent victory against the Atlanta Hawks, he gets 9 rebounds coming off a back-to-back. So, and all of this that we said so far is really crazy, given that the Oklahoma City Thunder, they're still missing key components. They're still missing key rotational guys. They're missing Kenrich Williams. They're missing Jalen Williams. And they're also missing Isaiah Hartenstein. And Isaiah Hartenstein, he was a guy that was supposed to come in and help with help with those rebounding duties. Because last season, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they were towards the bottom of the NBA when it came to rebounding. So now Chet Holmgren, he's rebounding at an elite level and is already paying off for the Oklahoma City Thunder. So adding Isaiah Hartenstein to the mix is only going to get better for them when it comes to rebounding the basketball. But what's making the Oklahoma City Thunder right now so impressive right now is that their defense is just so smothering. They're playing defense at such a great level. Besides the first game against the Denver Nuggets, they had 9 steals. And then in the next 2 games, 10 plus steals as a team in both games. Against the Chicago Bulls, they had 15, and against the Atlanta Hawks, they had 12 steals. So that's an additional, in those 2 games, that's an additional 20. That's an additional 27 possessions just off taking the ball, just off taking the ball away from your opponent. So that right there is just super duper crazy. And we look at how they play defense as a team. Coach Mark has just got so many different schemes for these guys, and they got, with all these defensive weapons, there's so many different things they can do. They can trap your best player and have everybody else flying around, rotating and helping the helper. In the pick and roll situations, they have so many elite perimeter defenders that they can leave one of the best rim protectors in the league in the drop coverage, and it's been so beneficial for Chet Holmgren so far. I don't know how many blocks he had against the Chicago Bulls, but I know against the Atlanta Hawks he had 6 blocks, and then against the Denver Nuggets he had 4 blocks. So already this season he is putting on a shot blocking clinic, and it's because his teammates are so good at playing on ball defense, putting a lot of pressure on the 3-point line, forcing everyone to drive in, fighting over screens, and then you gotta take on Chet Holmgren at the rim, which is, as we see, we look at the numbers, is not an easy thing to do. So the way these guys are just able to play team defense, they can switch if they have to. They can, like we just said, have their big in the drop coverage. They can trap the best player on the team and get the ball out of his hands because they're tremendous athletes. They got a great trust for each other, so they have no problem rotating, helping, and forcing non-playmakers to become playmakers. It's just what they're doing on defense right now is just very insane. So the team defense is just so spectacular right now. They can go in the zone if they need to. So the Oklahoma City Thunder, and to have great team defense, you got to have great individual defenders as well. And right now, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they have so many of those. And we can look at it in their most recent game against the Atlanta Hawks. And honestly, defense starts with the best player on your team. And you see Shai Gilgeous-Alexander becoming one of the best two-way players in the NBA. I'm 100% sure that energy starts to become contagious. Because if you have Shai Gilgeous, who's one of the best scorers in the NBA, a walking 30-piece, and you got him locking in on the defensive side of the ball, as a role player, as a teammate, you're not going to have no choice but to do the same and give it your all on the defensive side of the ball. And last night, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he put on an offensive clinic, 35 points and 9 assists, but he also got it done on the other side of the ball as well. I believe he had 11 rebounds, and he had 3 steals, and he had 3 blocks. Now, that's just a crazy game right there. I don't play fantasy. I don't play fantasy basketball, but I'm pretty sure if anybody has Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in their lineup off that type of performance, I'm pretty sure they could have just had him in their lineup and they would have won their matchup, because that's just an insane stat line. 35 points, 11 rebounds, 9 assists, 3 steals, and 3 blocks. That's insane. And then we look down the line, and like we said, when your best player is performing like that defensively, it is very contagious. We look at the stat sheet. Cason Wallace, who's another terrific on-ball defender, I think he had 2 or 3 steals, and and this was a really good game up into the fourth quarter. And we talked about this in the offseason, that the Oklahoma City Thunder, they're just going to be a team that's just going to be able to smack their opponents around. And shout out to the Atlanta Hawks. They did a great job all the way up into the fourth quarter. And then the Oklahoma City Thunder, they proved why they were the significantly better team. Out of nowhere, it wasn't a ball game anymore. But Cason Wallace, he got 2 big time steals against Trae Young, one of the better ball handlers in the NBA and one of the best point guards in the NBA. So, and then you have Alex Caruso. He's like a luxury for the Oklahoma City Thunder. They already had somebody like Alex Caruso, and that guy is Lou Dort. So now they have Alex Caruso. They're bringing him off the bench. They're allowing him to be that spark plug, that guy that's going to bring energy, make hustle plays. And he had 3 steals last night. I believe he also had 3 blocks as well. So just crazy individual defensive performances, and then also great team defensive performances as well. So we look at the Oklahoma City Thunder. They just have these defenders everywhere, these perimeter defenders everywhere. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Lou Dort, Wiggins, Jalen Williams, Alex Caruso. And so you have all of these guys who gets after it on the perimeter, and then you're just sending them guys all into the paint, into Chet Holmgren, who so far this season he's been spectacular. He looks like he's on his way to the All-Star game, and probably on his way to most improved player. He's looking like one of the best players in the NBA right now. And I know it's just 3 games, but what else do we have to go off of? It's 3 games into the NBA season, and it's been a very exciting 3 games for the Oklahoma City Thunder. But I just think the league, they should really look into these guys and start game planning for them right now, because right now they're not even playing their best. They're not playing their best version of basketball offensively, and they're also not at full strength when it comes to their rotational pieces. So the Oklahoma City Thunder, these last few years, you just gotta man, you got to give Sam Presti some huge credit, because this is how you build a franchise. This is a great example. You don't need to go out and try to persuade superstars to come to your team. You make great trades and you get some great talent out the draft, and that's exactly what the Oklahoma City Thunder has done. But that's what I wanted to talk about with you guys today. Their defense so far this season, it has been smothering, it's been outstanding, and it's been a beautiful thing to watch. But if you guys enjoyed, please leave a like, comment down below how you feel about the Oklahoma City Thunder's defense, and then subscribe for more weekly content. We do this all the time, man, and that's curtains.